Because if I'm a flatterer, you'll cut off my lips and take me away. For all those who believe in the rapture, and you've been around the internet this week, you know what's been going on. Okay, the righteous are preserved, the unrighteous are taken away, and the flatterer are among those who are taken away in Yahweh's judgment.
That's right.
Yahweh will judge. I don't care. They could be your best friend. Turn to your neighbor and say, they could be your best buddy. Let's try that again. They could be. They could be your best friend. If they're a flatterer, Yahweh says they will be judged. If he has mercy on them, if he has chesed, he will cut off their lips. But if they're lost, he will cut off their lips and take them away. Hello? You don't want to be taken away. You want to be left behind. When Yahweh judges you, I don't care what that book Tim LaHaye wrote. I don't care what those books, best booksellers conventions teach. You pray to be left behind. As it was in the days of Noah. If Noah was raptured, we'll be raptured. If Noah was preserved, we'll be preserved. Pray to be left behind. So the flatterer is going to be what? Taken away unless he repents. Because a flatterer doesn't trust Yahweh. A flatterer trusts his smoothness, his manipulation, his ability to talk you into anything. Okay? And you know what the problem with flattery is? It's seductive. It gets us. Who doesn't want to be told how pretty they are? Who doesn't want to be told how handsome they are? Who doesn't want to be told how few steps away from Arnold Schwarzenegger they really are? Right? Or Fabio. What man doesn't want to be told he looks just like Fabio? Huh? Fabio, Fashmochen. Fashmochen and Fabrochen. So, I mean, the danger of listening to the flatterer is, it's a very seductive spirit. And it makes it seem that all is well when all may not be kosher and seal. Okay? You want to compliment Rabbi Moshe's teaching? You compliment his teaching. Don't tell me he's the greatest since Yeshua walked the earth. You know, don't tell me I'm a bum or a loser because I won't return your calls. Be real. Understand? Find something redeeming, something good about somebody, and share what's good, share what's redeeming, but don't make stuff up. And the problem with people who have friends who are flatterers never learn to grow up and trust Yahweh. Trusting Yahweh, you're not born again trusting Yahweh. You've got to learn and grow up to trust Yahweh. He'll deliver you from AIDS. Now I trust him more. He delivered me from cancer. Whoa, I'm even trusting him more. He delivered me from the unrighteous. Now I'm even trusting him more. So it's a process, it's a growth, growing Yeshua. Like a newborn babe, 1 Kepha 2:2. Desire the sincere milk of the word that you may grow thereby. And a flatterer is not going to be teaching you the word. He's going to be teaching you how to rely on the arm of flesh. And Yirmiyahu 17 says, cursed is the man who trusts in the arm of flesh. Amen. Blessed is the man whose Elohim is Yahweh. Hallelujah. And so Eov says, no, Master, I don't want to be taken away. I want to be preserved. I don't want to show partiality. A flatterer shows partiality. But a flatterer shows partiality for a nefarious agenda. Now, it may seem like right now you need their flattery and you need their friendship. But if they have a lifestyle of flattery, what's the difference between that and a used car salesman? There's no difference. A used car salesman will tell you how you were born in the ghetto, you were born underprivileged, but now you're somebody. You've got a job on Wall Street. You're Fifth Avenue. You're a stockbroker. You're hanging out with the elite, and you need a car to match your lifestyle. And how do they get that? How do they get that car in you and you in it? They put you in the front seat. You start smelling that car. Ooh, honey child. You smell that? Ooh, I need this one. Well, how do you know? The smell. Ooh, that smell. So a car salesman doesn't have to sell you anything. He just has to get you smelling. Because he's flattering you. Look at you. You got a high-priced wife, high maintenance. She wears jewelry. You got a $150,000 condo. But there's something lacking in your life. It's your automobile. You need this. You're a man of stature. You're a success. You're a Fortune 500 guy. Okay? But what that man is doing is, instead of praying and seeking and fasting and believing by faith with an eternal perspective that the master of all, the master king of the universe, the sovereign Yahweh will give it to you as a reward for obedience, you're learning to surround yourself with friends who will tell you that things are okay when they just may not be 100% okay. And those kind of friends, Yahweh says, I cut off the lips. If Yahweh cuts off their lips, how do you cut off their lips? You have to remove those friends from your life. They're not kosher. They're not kosher. You deserve better than that bum. How long have you been married to that guy? You deserve better. Look at you. You're the best thing since Raquel Walsh. You look like Jane Fonda when she didn't go to Vietnam. And look, you're putting up with it. You don't need it. You don't need that. Just get rid of him. Yeah, but you took a marriage covenant before Yahweh. That's a blood covenant. The woman's supposed to be a virgin and spill the blood on the night of their wedding, and Yahweh will make that blood covenant between a husband and a wife. So you don't listen to those friends who flatter you, telling you you can do better. No, if you have the husband and wife that Yahweh chose for you, you can't do better. You've got the best thing He's chosen for you. It's the first time I've heard from Martha in about 4 weeks. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Go with me to Mishlei, please. We're going to go quickly now. Mishlei. Mishlei 2:16. We have a lot to cover. Mishlei 2:16. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. I said Baruch Hashem Yahweh. You got to review these teachings. You got to review these tapes. You got to, because you will protect your life. You'll protect your soul. You'll deliver yourself. Mishlei 2:16. Deliver yourself from a strange woman. We were just talking about that. From the foreigner who flatters with her words. What's another nice way of saying foreigner? What's another word for foreigner? Starts with a G. Gentile. Thank you. In Yahweh's eyes, a flatterer is a Gentile. Because an Israelite trusts Yahweh. An Israelite wants to hear from Yahweh. An Israelite wants to have direction from Yahweh. But a flatterer is a Gentile. Because a Gentile will what? Try to manipulate and change the circumstances. A Gentile does not what? Is not born again. Does it make sense? A Gentile doesn't trust in Yahweh. Right? So when you have a friend who's a flatterer, you've got a Gentile friend. What is another way to say Gentile? Foreigner. What's another way to say foreigner? Unsaved. What's another way to say unsaved? Unbelieving. How many Gentile friends should you have? None. Zero. That doesn't mean non-Jewish, it means non-believing. Yes. Is anyone with me? Right. Does this make any sense? Yes. So Yahweh says that the flatterer is a foreigner. Go with me to Mishlei 7:5. Mishlei 7:5. Again, we see the foreigner or the Gentile flatters with the lips. Go with me to Mishlei 29:5. Mishlei 29:5. We just did 7:5. Mishlei 29:5. A man or woman who flatters his neighbor spreads a net, listen, for his own feet. With me? A man who flatters spreads a net for his own feet. How so? Because eventually, when they accomplish their goal, when the flattering friend accomplishes their goal, they're going to stop flattering you. And now you don't know how to trust in Yahweh. Now you don't know how to believe Yahweh. Now you don't know how to look to Yahweh because you've been trusting in a double-hearted, double-minded friend. Who is partially faithful to the Elohim of Mammon and partially faithful to Yahweh Elohim. He loves his career pursuit as much as he loves his Creator. He's as sold to his accounting business as he is to serving and doing the will of the Master. And so Yahweh says, when you listen and hang and fellowship and have chavurah with a flatterer, you're laying a net for the destruction and your own fall at your own feet. You with me? Yeah. Practical messianic living. Practical. This stuff's practical. Turn to your neighbor and say it's practical.
It's practical.
And not only that, it's free. No 1-800 number, no 1-900 number. It's free. Practice. This is not being negative. It's protecting the body, the people, the assembly of the righteous. Okay? There's a lot of flatterers in the kingdom. There are a lot of flatterers behind pulpits. Oh, you guys, you're the head, not the tail. Everybody should be a millionaire. Glory to God. Claim it, name it, and claim it. Word of faith. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, he can achieve. Think and grow rich. My name is Dr. Napoleon Hill. And all you got to do is vision it. You got to vision it. You got to claim it and name it and command Yahweh. Glory to God. You got to speak it, because words, they say, words are a faith is a force, and words are containers of that force. Liar. Faith is a gift. Faith is a gift from Yahweh. Saving faith, believing faith, growing faith is a gift from Yahweh. By grace you are saved through faith, not of yourselves or your mouth, but it is a gift of Yahweh, lest any, not of works, lest any man boast. But the word faith movement teaches that faith is not a gift, it's a force, and words contain the force of faith, so that if you so if you release the right words, positive stuff starts, like dominoing all over the place. But then because faith is a force and words are containers of that force, they teach, if you release a negative confession, nothing happens, you get sick, you die, and shrivel up at the age of 24. And it's all your fault. It puts the onus on the man, not on the Creator, Yahweh. I got news for you, honey. Faith is not a force, faith is a gift. 1 Corinthians 13, now these three abide in heaven: faith, hope, and love. Ahava, tikva, and emunah. Ahava, tikva, and emunah. So when we have flattering friends who won't tell us the truth in love, won't share the scriptures with us in love, and give us a biblical, that's the problem. We got a lot of churches and a lot of people who are going down the drain spiritually. Why? Because they're told you don't have a positive self-image. You have a negative self-image. You need to have a more positive, yeah, really. We're already puffed up with pride. We're already puffed up with haughtiness. We already think of ourselves more highly than we ought. Rav Shaul said a man ought not think of himself, or woman, more highly than he ought. Yes. Right. So we got all these bozos telling us that the problem with the believing community is that we have low self-esteem. Do you know anybody that has low self-esteem? I can make it happen. I can go for counseling and get the problem solved. I can do this and get the problem solved. I can buy a new hair, new wig, and get the problem solved. It's always me, I, and that's what happened to Satan. Why did S.A. get thrown out of heaven? He had eye problems. What was his illness? Eye problems. I will ascend like the Most High. I will sit on the congregation of the north. I will be like the stars of heaven. I. Satan had eye problems. S.A. had eye trouble. So the flatterer will bring you back into the eye dilemma. He will not deliver you from eye problems, rather he'll stay in eye problems. Are you with me? And what happens when the flatterer, what happens when you achieve what the flatterer wants you to achieve? What happens to the flatterer? Gone. They've already met their goal. They've already achieved their purpose. Say it with me? So a man who has a flatterer as a friend, look at the end of verse 5, Mishlei 29:5, spreads a net, what? For his own feet. Turn with me to Daniel 11. Daniel 11. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Yahweh is my judge. Daniel. You get there to a page, just please shout.
596.
Okay, Daniel 11:32. Daniel 11:32. This is speaking. Now listen, don't miss this now. Some of y'all already getting hungry. Don't get hungry. I bind that hungry spirit. Now you stay still now. Daniel 11:32.
597.
Daniel 11:32. And by flattery, this is talking about the anti-Moshiach, or the Antichristus, the anti-Moshiach, the anti-Messiah. By flattery, he will profane those who do wrong against the covenant. But the people who know their Elohim shall be strong and shall act.
Amen.
So they will act in faith. Notice, the tool of the anti-Messiah, listen, is to flatter the world into submission. To flatter all the enemies of Yahweh against Yahweh's covenant. How is the anti-Messiah going to operate? Through a spirit of lying and a spirit of seduction. And he's going to get the entire world into his net to violate the Shabbat, to violate the Torah, to violate the Brit Chadashah, to not believe in Yeshua, and to turn all nations against Israel, both houses, Judah and Ephraim. But here, brothers and sisters, he's not going to do it with nuclear weapons. And he's not going to do it with biological weapons. And he's not going to do it with weapons of mass destruction. Flattery. This is a scripture of the anti-Moshiach in the end times. Is anyone with me?
Yes.
When you have a friend who achieves his goals, his purposes, not through prayer and fasting, not through seeking Yahweh, not through humbling himself under the mighty hand that Yahweh may exalt him in due season, that person is operating on the same spirit of the latter-day anti-Messiah who will cause all nations to turn and wrong Yahweh's covenants. Is anyone with me?
Yes.
This is not a joke. When we have friends in our lives who they've got a problem with flattery. There are some women that have such low self-esteem that they think that if they don't flatter a man, or some men who have such low self-esteem, they think that if they don't flatter a woman, they can't get a date, they can't get together, and they can't go out. The Bible does not teach believers. I'm talking about believers. I can care less about the world. I'm your shepherd. I shepherd believers. Turn to your neighbor and say, he shepherds believers. Let's try that again. He shepherds believers. We are not to have a low self-esteem or a high self-esteem. We are to have a proper self-image. We got to get a proper, balanced self-image. I'm a child of Yahweh. I can do all things through Messiah who strengthens me. I'm the head and not the tail. I am righteous in him, not in myself. I can do all things through him, not my words. So we have a proper biblical perspective. We don't think more highly of ourselves. Positive. Brother, your problem is you need a positive mental attitude. No, you don't. No, brother, your problem is you have a low self-esteem. No. The child of Yahweh is to have a proper self-image. I know who I am. I'm smug in who I am. And I know who Yahweh has made me to be. And I'm confident in him. I thank him. I'm grateful to him. I'm in love with him because he took me from a nothing and made me a somebody. So you know you're not a loser, but you also know you're not the greatest thing that Yahweh's ever created. You've got a proper self-image. Turn to your neighbor and say, proper self-image. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Amen. But when you have flattering friends, understand it is the same spirit of anti-Messiah. He will use not chemical weapons, not biological weapons. He will use the spirit of flattery or the technique. It's a technique. It's a devilish technique. It's a technique to get the world to do his bidding. Oh, you Jews. Come on. Don't you know this is your homeland? And I want to give you your homeland. And here's how I'm going to do it. You let the Palestinians have this part of Israel, and I'll let you rebuild the temple. You can rebuild the temple. Isn't that what makes you Jews Jews? Isn't that the most important thing to you? And isn't that what you want the most? So I will help you rebuild the temple and give back some of the land to the Palestinians. And what do you Palestinians want the most? Don't you deserve this land? It's not just the Jews. They've been killing you. This is your land. I'll give you the land if you allow them to rebuild the temple. And through these flatteries, he negotiates. Through these flatteries, he makes solutions. And through these flatteries, the world turns against the will, plan, and covenant of Yahweh.
Right.
Watch a flattering friend. Compliment, bring it on. You want a compliment? Bring it on. But you know, flattery is a lifestyle. And Eov said, don't make me a flatterer, Yahweh, because then you'll take me away in judgment, just like you take all the flatterers away. Yahweh says, I'll cut their lips off. We just read that. So either you get them out of your life, or Yahweh will cut off their lips, and they won't be around anyway.
That's right.
And politics is the art of flattery. Not to mention compromise. Is anyone with me? If you're sleeping, just wave your hand at me. Brooke, you're not sleeping. You're right away.
Don't do that.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Daniel 11:32. We see. Now go with me, please, to 1 Thessalonians 2. 1 Thessalonians 2. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. 1 Thessalonians 2. Practical, messianic living.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Can't teach you about 2 houses every week. Got to teach you and I how to survive in this world. That's right. Well, get ready. We may be on this for a long time. Baruch Hashem. Believe me, the best things Yahweh wants to bring out sometimes go over series, weeks. Amen? Because we dig deeper and deeper into the things of Yahweh. 1 Thessalonians 2, 3. 1 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Oh man, this is heavy. I got so much to cover. Just so much to cover. So Baruch Hashem Yahweh. We'll be done by 8, okay? 1 Thessalonians 2, 3. For the appeal we make does not come from delusion, or from uncleanness, or from deceit. Rav Shaul says, the way I deal with you, brothers and sisters, and the way you ought to deal with each other, is not in an unclean, deceitful, delusionary manner. Are you with me? We are to surround ourselves with friends who do not come at each other from a delusion, an unclean, or deceitful manner. Are you with me? Now jump down to verse 5. 1 Thessalonians 2:5. Or we never came with a word of flattery, as you know, or a cloak of greed. So Rav Shaul says, I deal with the sheep of Yahweh as you ought to deal with one another, never with words of flattery. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Yep.
Believers are not to flatter each other. We are to love each other, be kind, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, as Mashiach in Yahshua has forgiven us. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. We are not to flatter. That is not to be found in the community of faith.